Concussion, paralysis, a scar on half of the face. What injuries happen in figure skating? Figure skating is one of the most beautiful sports, bordering on art, but at the same time extremely dangerous. Sometimes one bad fall can cause serious damage to health and put an end to the rest of your career. Let us remember today the falls of figure skaters, who remind us that any sport of high achievements is fraught with danger. Tatiana Tatmianina and Maxim Marinin. The most terrible fall from a 2-meter height happened at the Skate America tournament in 2004. During the high support, the partner lost his balance and could not hold Tatiana. The figure skater fell, hitting her head on the ice, and lost consciousness. A group of doctors immediately ran out onto the ice and took her in an ambulance to the hospital. The doctors diagnosed him with a concussion and told him not to rush back to training. However, Tatiana herself was torn to the ice as soon as she came to her senses. Despite the recommendations of doctors, the figure skater started training after 2 weeks, and a week later she again performed lifts with Marinin. Psychologically, it was easier for Tatiana to return than her partner, since the athlete forgot the very moment of the fall. But Maxim Marinin could not forgive himself for a long time and even turned to a sports psychologist for help. Fortunately, for this couple, everything ended well. Tatiana fully recovered. At the European and World Championships in 2005, the skaters had no equal, and a year later Tatmianina/Marinin became the Olympic champions of Turin. Jessica Dubé and Bryce Davison. The performance of the Canadian couple Jessica Dubé and Bryce Davison at the Four Continents Championship ended in an accident. During a synchronized rotation, Davison accidentally hit the partner's face with the blade of the skate and inflicted a deep laceration in the area of the left cheek and nose. The figure skater was immediately taken to the nearest hospital, where more than 80 stitches were applied. Doctors noted that Jessica was still lucky, since not a single bone was broken and both eyes remained intact. Both skaters needed psychological help to return to training and re-enter the competitive ice. Mandy Watzel and Ingo Steuer. Another heavy fall happened at the 1994 Olympics for the German couple Mandy Wetzel and Ingo Steuer. During the performance of the double swallow, Mandy suddenly fell on the ice, hitting her chest hard. Ingo miraculously managed to avoid falling and not crush her partner with her own weight. After the fall, Mandy was unable to get up on her own and began to choke. Steuer gently picked her up and carried her to the doctors. So, being the current vice-champions of the world, the skaters were left without Olympic medals. True, after another 4 years, this couple managed to become bronze medalists of the 1998 Olympics in Nagano. Ashley Cain-Gribble and Timothy LeDuc. American sports couple Ashley Cain-Gribble and Timothy LeDuc were among the contenders to win the Zagreb 2018 event. At first, Ashley fell from the release, but later there was a fall from support. Moreover, during the exit from it, Timothy was unable to put his partner on the ice, and she fell headfirst, doubled over. The skaters managed to quickly get up on their own and continue skating as if nothing had happened, since the main part of the program was already behind them. As soon as Ashley got off the ice, she was given first aid, a brace was placed on her cervical region, and ice was applied to the back of her head. Later, the skater reported that she had been examined in the hospital. Everything was fine with her. Yuzuru Hanyu. There were more serious falls in the career of the legendary two-time Olympic champion Yuzuru Hanyu, but this case also made a lot of noise and raised the ears of all figure skating fans. It all started with the fact that Hanyu arrived at the Grand Prix final in Turin in season 19-20 in splendid isolation without the accompaniment of coaches, since there was only one accreditation, and Brian Gislin lost his passport on the way to Turin. And in training on the eve of the starts, Yuzuru decided to go into the quadruple axel. At the same time, the skater did not limit himself to one attempt, he several times went to the insidious quadruple axel. And every time, the audience shuddered from frightening falls. Hanyu could get seriously injured and cripple himself, but, fortunately, everything worked out. Chelsea Liu and Danny O'Shea. The couples' competition at the Warsaw Cup tournament last November dragged on. It is possible that the late exit to the ice, the clock was already after midnight local time, indirectly influenced what happened to the American couple Chelsea Liu and Danny O'Shea. During one of the lifts, the partner did not hold Liu and together, the skaters fell painfully onto the ice. Chelsea hit her head very hard and even lost consciousness, and Danny was also unable to get up on his own. As a result, both athletes were carried off the ice by a medical team. Chelsea Liu was diagnosed with a concussion and Danny O'Shea had to get stitches after he badly cut his head in a fall. After that incident, the couple has not yet taken part in any tournament. Daria Yuzakeva. It happened quite recently, at the Japanese Grand Prix last year. Nothing foreshadowed trouble and a harmless, at first glance, fall at the warm-up suddenly turned into a tragedy. As it turned out later, Daria came to the tournament being injured, but at that time everything seemed not so critical. While performing a flip in the warm-up, she felt pain in her thigh, which caused her to open prematurely and fall. The skater barely managed to get up and drive up to the side, where she was immediately taken away by doctors and taken away for examination. The injury turned out to be quite serious. Dasha not only dropped out of the Grand Prix series, she had to end the season ahead of schedule and forget about the fight for an Olympic ticket. Now the athlete is still in the process of recovery, and the fans are looking forward to Dasha's return to the ice in the new season. Yevgeny Semenenko. Sometimes trouble comes from where you do not expect it at all. It's one thing when an accident happens during a competition, and quite another when something bad happens during an ice show. At Yevgeny Plashenko's show Union of Champions, Yevgeny Semenenko went into a quadruple jump, but did not take into account the reduced size of the ice rink and fell unsuccessfully, hitting his head. After the skater made several attempts to get up on his own, but could not stand on his feet and fell again. As a result, Genya was carried away on a stretcher and taken to the hospital. There, doctors diagnosed him with a concussion and numerous head hematomas. Fortunately, the skater managed to recover quite quickly. As soon as Semenenko was discharged from the hospital, he returned to the ice, performed at another show, spent training camps, restored all his jumps and is now preparing for the new season with might and main. Paul Benibos and Laura Handy. Not always during the breakdown of support and the inevitable fall, the partner suffers. There are times when such a fall leads to serious consequences for a partner. This happened in 1999 with the American figure skater Paul Benibos. During training, the athlete dropped his partner Laura Handy on himself, and he himself received a head injury. The doctors had to do an emergency brain surgery and put the athlete in an artificial coma. Paul's heart stopped twice. Part of the face was paralyzed, the skater failed to resume his professional career, but Paul was able to return to the ice and become a popular coach in Denver, Colorado. Candice Didier. The French figure skater Candice Didier was well prepared for the 2009 World Championships and planned to compete for the Olympic quota, but fate decreed otherwise. During the rental of a free program, the athlete unsuccessfully fell from a triple sheepskin coat and flew into the side. The girl could not immediately get up and lay on the ice for about 20 seconds, after which a team of doctors helped her get to the sofa in the kiss and cry zone. Having received first aid, Candice did not withdraw from the tournament and decided to finish her performance. Unfortunately, the skater was too excited and could not accurately skate her program, performing extra jumps that were not counted. As a result, the athlete failed to earn the Olympic quota.